Sunday to the Crypto ZX family. I just want to start off by saying thank you. The amount of love that you guys are showing on these market analysis update. As you guys know, I've launched a new segment on the channel where we discuss the broader market, altcoins, Bitcoin, the overall market momentum, and the feedback has been amazing. So continue supporting, and please, one request that I have for you guys is make sure your bell icon is on so you're notified every time we make an upload. But looking across the board today, we're seeing a nice bounce across the board. You could see H bar up 12%, XLM moving, Zcash, Chronos, list goes on and on. So a lot of altcoins are feeling some love. Again, very interesting price action, impressive price action to be exact, over the weekend because of course CME futures are closed. But we're going to take a look at what's really going on. I'm going to share the price action, my overall thoughts. But over the last 1 hour, we've seen a little bit of a minor pullback. But as far as the 24-hour time frame is concerned, quite an impressive day. Looking across the board, though, as you could see, the valuation approaching $3.1 trillion. We're up about 3.3%. Looking across the board, like I said, majority of altcoins are feeling some love. But again, we're in a weekend, and obviously that is something we don't really want to be ignoring. This upcoming week is very interesting, not just because of the price action that we could be expecting, but due to some key events taking place, which I'm going to be discussing with you guys. But before we get into any further, as always, just a quick disclaimer for everyone. Anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So follow me on X, by the way, so we can start engaging there. But look at this. Something big just woke up in the futures market. Binance futures volume has, gone up quite a bit across the, majors. Bitcoin futures have spiked up to 48.4 billion, one of the biggest spikes in months. And Ethereum, Solana, XRP, TRX, and BNB all have surged at the same time. This isn't isolated activity, it's broad market futures ignition after weeks of low volatility and tight ranges. When futures wake up like this, it usually means traders are positioning for a much larger move, not grinding sideways. Both hedgers and momentum traders are re-entering with size, and Binance is once again where the liquidity rush is happening. The quiet phase is over. Volatility is back on the table. So pretty much we saw and we discussed that in the XRP market analysis update last night as well, where you saw on BitMEX a huge increase on the future side of things for XRP. So are people starting to get optimistic? Are we starting to slowly but surely gain more traction within the crypto space? Again, as far as my overall targets are concerned, my overall thesis is concerned, I've been quite clear on what I'm projecting. Bitcoin, I think, has completed the wave, and I would not be surprised if things were to start heading towards the upside. Bitcoin actually did retest around $88,000 almost just earlier today, something we talked about in my last market analysis update. So again, the move is quite interesting right now. Still need to be looking for confirmation, but we'll kind of touch a little bit more on that. Let's move forward, though, talking about key events taking place this upcoming week. Economic data and events to keep an eye out on. So the inflation data is coming out on Tuesday of November 25th. Initial jobless claims, Wednesday 26th. Inflation data, PCE inflation data. Stock market is closed due to Thanksgiving. Early market close Friday 28th. So rate cut odds are currently around 71% for December. Next week's data could influence them and impact Bitcoin's price. And that is such a key component that I want to kind of touch on. As the odds of the rate cut are increasing, if you were to ask me my personal opinion on the market and whether or not the market has kind of priced itself for the rate cut, I don't personally think so, because like I said, let's face it, market has seen a substantial pullback. Even if you look at it on a weekly time frame and most importantly the monthly time frame, still 30-40% drop for multiple coins across the board. People might be jumping around, the ones that have been picking up this retracement over the course of the last few days. I'm sure your portfolio is up if you've been dollar cost averaging into some of these altcoins. But again, in terms of looking at the bigger picture, we're still still down substantially. And if you were to ask me my opinion, whether or not this rate cut is priced in, I don't think so, because again, markets are down quite substantially. So is the market really trying to price itself in now for the specific rate cut to come in December? We'll see what happens, but good things to kind of keep in mind. But take a look at this. The fear and greed index hits 10 on coin market cap, obviously in extreme category, as you could see for yourself. But I want to talk about this here because I'm sure a lot of you are aware of this. So Monad is launching tomorrow. And obviously, there is going to be an airdrop to people that participated, that received some, points. They are going to be receiving, some tokens. Again, I did not qualify for this. I kind of, slept on this. I'm going to be quite honest with you. But again, I'm really, really happy for people that were able to, qualify for this. But the reason why I'm sharing this with you guys here is because tomorrow is, the mainnet launch, and it's obviously launching. The native token is launching as well. So the reason why I bring this up is because I think this could bring in massive amounts of liquidity. This airdrop could bring in a huge chunk of liquidity into the markets as well, and that's something I want you guys to keep in mind. So is airdrop season back? That is also kind of something we need to be looking into. And shout out to you guys, for the ones that were able to qualify for this. But with that said, a big, big, big heads up for everyone. Make sure you guys are being diligent, being extremely diligent and careful what links you're clicking on this airdrop. Make sure you guys are following credible, websites, maybe credible YouTubers that are covering this. I would suggest you guys to do that. Make sure everything is accurate. Make sure you're clicking the link that is accurate, because there's going to be a lot of spoof websites that are going to be acting like they're the legitimate ones. So that's a big heads up that I want to give you guys. Make sure you guys are aware of that. But let's take a look at the broader market. So as far as the dominance is concerned, you guys can see for yourself, we are heading back towards the upside. Currently sitting at 59.26%, as you could see for yourself. So dominance gaining strength, but Bitcoin also gaining strength right now. As of recording this update, Bitcoin is sitting above our 86K key range. We're about to close the daily candle above 86,000. Obviously, it's the weekend. That's something obviously we'll factor in, but we're sitting above that. Very, very nice to see, of course. Let's take a look at Bitcoin on the hourly perspective. So if you're looking at Bitcoin right now, Bitcoin went up to $88,000. There we have it. I talked to you guys about how we could potentially start retesting some of these levels, and look at it for yourself. Exactly at $88,000, we got rejected and we have pulled down right now, as to be expected, but quite a nice bounce since our retest, in the 78.6 at 80K. We're looking at about a 9% bounce for Bitcoin. So, maybe Bitcoin, if it's able to break out of the $88,500 key resistance, I think things could still continue to move towards the upside, but do expect some volatility at the same time. Reason why I say that is because, yes, markets are bouncing, and swing traders are, really happy at this point. And again, always want to emphasize this on the channel. When I talk about swing trading, I'm not talking about futures. I'm totally against futures, as you guys know. I'm talking more specifically about people that are swing trading on the spot side of things. And some people could have, picked some decent, coins. Just for an example, H bar up, 14 to 15% over the last 24 hours. And these things add up. So, that's that, of course. But we also always want to keep this in mind. Again, do expect volatility due to the numbers and due to some of the key events that are going to be taking place this week. But with that said, I want you guys to think about it from a market maker standpoint. When you see over long positions piling up, that's where, and the market sentiment is overly bullish. That's where the market makers might come and do the complete opposite and kind of liquidate these longs. So this is why, number one, you want to stay away from leverage trading platforms. But again, nice move towards the upside as far as targets are concerned. We're looking good right now. Again, I've shared this on my channel before. To me personally, I wouldn't be surprised if we start the next wave up now, because again, my targets have been met. We've seen quite a significant pullback for Bitcoin. But again, that's my personal opinion. But I wouldn't be surprised though if we were to see a few, shaky price action over the next few days where you do see a couple big swings happening, just due to, the leverage side of things. But again, we got to take it one step at a time. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. As far as confirmation is concerned, still looking at $100,000 for me personally. Yeah, you just got to take it one step at a time. Thank you so much for all the love that you guys are showing me. Let me know in the comments if you were able to qualify for that airdrop that I've mentioned, and let me know which coins you're interested in. What's your overall outlook in the crypto space right now? How are you kind of, doing around these times? Like, what's your strategy? That's what I want to know from you guys. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Thank you so much once again for all the love. We'll see you later in Crypto ZX, and peace out.